everything I'm telling you the truth. And he was sparring, did like round 4 or 5. He said, oh no, I need a minute. And afterwards, about round 4 and 5, you can ask everybody else, he was sitting down on the ring cushion, on the ring rope, because he was like kind of tired. Come to round 5, 6 and 7, he started feeling the pace. God is my witness, I'm not telling you a lie. Then in round 8, Conor put it on him. What did he do? Stop sparring. Stop. Conor put it on him. He couldn't even come out for the 8th round. God is my witness.
All right, good brother Nigel Benn from the UK. Crumpets and tea. Can you hear me? What you heard was him doing the audio about how Conor Benn put hands, foot, and toes and elbows and maybe some Adidas shell toes on William Scull and sparring. He said they were sparring and that his son Conor Benn got the best of him and William Scull quit. He said he was tired after a few rounds, kept going, and eventually he didn't come out for the 8th and sparring. Now, I mean, like I said before, who knows what, to be honest. Like, I take sparring for a grain of salt. It's one of the more, it's one of those, you know, kind of them silent rules you have. You might be in a relationship. Y'all don't have to say, you understand? No infidelity, no disrespect, no putting your hands on, woo, woo, woo. Or it's like the bro code. You know what I'm saying? All right. You know, we ain't gonna mess with our main things. We'll share some women here and here, or you don't call me a few words, you don't disrespect me, you know. But a lot of times, you know, lost in the law of humanity, a lot of people break a lot of common laws. Washing hands after you use the bathroom. How many times have you paid attention to people breaking that law? So that's what it is. To me, I feel like it should be a boxing felonious offense for people to talk about what happened to sparring, and I'm going to explain it a little bit deeper because you don't know what they've been through. If I'm cutting a whole bunch of weight and sparring, and and a lot of times they wake up and they do some type of conditioning. A lot of times they wake up, they do some type of conditioning. They might go run, take eat, then take a nap, then they might go back to the gym later in the day. You know, they're not working with a full carton of eggs. That run gonna take you out. And a lot of times they come back after their run, they eat, they sleep, or enjoy their day. They'll come back in the gym later, and then they'll do strength training. You know, they'll do the strength training. Then they'll start doing some groundwork, the floor work and all that. They'll start hitting the bag, and you know what I'm saying? You don't know how hot it was in there. You don't know where his weight cut was at. You don't know a lot of things. So he probably wasn't a fresher fighter. All we know, Conor Benn walked to the gym and he was 100%. He on weight. He ain't doing hard strength and conditioning. He winding down to make sure it's even. And, you know, he at optimum. And William Scull is just, he's still trying to cut weight and get, trying to, get his rhythm. He's still in full camp mode. So I take that shit for a grain of salt because, if anybody competed, some days, in practice, sometimes the backup get the better of the starter. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, all right, man, I'm going. But, come game day, you put that backup in, he don't perform like that starter. So I take it for a grain of salt. We all have off days at work. We all have off days in our relationship. We have off days as free. We're not going to be the best. Us to work out. A lot of us have off days in the gym. My chest so sore right now. A lot of us have this kind of stretching. Low key feel kind of good. Sorry. A lot of us have off days in general. That happens. That's just like me saying if I'm in the weight room and I lifted for an hour and then you come in and say, well, let's have a lift off. Well, motherfucker, my workout is done. I'm not fresh. So when I hear stories like that, and it's to me, it's distasteful coming from another fighter who was a prize fight, and I believe Nigel Benn was a world champion, to sit here to be glorifying what your son did in sparring. Let your son perform and speak for itself on Saturday. And that's what I be trying to tell y'all just in life in general. A lot of these old motherfuckers that was our parents, they really don't follow the rules. And see a lot of these cougars out here, getting divorced and want to go back in the streets and be a hoe. And now it makes sense why a lot of women are hoes. Same thing in boxing. You got legends in the sport, people that been in the sport, that been to the mountaintop, been got world titles, and they breaking the code. If they breaking the code, why don't they kids break the code and then you break the code? You know what I'm saying? That's my problem. They gonna break the, like, if anybody gonna upkeep the code and upkeep the standard, it should be the legends, the generation before. That's my whole thing about it, bro. Like, when you got old people breaking the code or you got legends breaking the code, I mean, it's a rizzy. So I don't read much into that, bro. So, you know, but like, it's a lot that go into it, man. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever did 2-a-days in any sport. It's a lot. It's a lot to wake up early in the morning, y'all strength train, weight lift, then come back and do, field work and karaoke's and sled work and hit each other and practice till the sun come down. Dog, it's a grueling thing. That's why the NFL players over here in America, they wanted to cut 2 padded practice days. Oh, they wanted to cut that. They cut that shit out. They took less money to cut that shit out, even though it was beneficial towards them because you didn't have as many soft tissue injuries because they was prepared. And when you cut corners on preparation, you're going to have consequences. And the consequences is a bunch of ACL, hamstring injuries, MCL, Achilles injuries. All those type of muscles, all those injuries tend to come from people who's not properly prepared. So if I cut my practices intensity down by 30, 40, 20, 30, 40, 50%, that could be the difference between injury, the injury, or a career or a season in the injury, or having a plentiful and healthy season. When you fatigue, is a lot of times where a lot of that trauma happens at. So the preparation that you have to have, in my opinion, the preparation that you have to have, for a camp, most people couldn't do it. Even if it's the mild version of it. It's like, even if you got the time, the supplements, you got the nutrition, it's hell. It's hell. You gotta really mentally go to a different place. That's why a lot of people don't work out. Even if you see people work out in the gym, they going through the motion. They work out lacks the intensity. Have you just this next time you go to the gym or you get a membership, sometimes just people watch. People watch. And you can see people who never physically change. And a lot of that got to do with their habits outside the gym, but nonetheless. And you can just tell in their workouts lack intensity. There's no urgency. Urgency and intensity go hand in hand in the gym. It lacks intensity. It lacks structure. And when you're talking about gym work, even when you're talking about boxing, intensity, structure, urgency, because structure going to plan, that's what you need. I need an agenda. What I need to do, how fast I need to do it, how many I need. You need a whole plan. And when you going through what probably William Scull going through, of course that motherfucker tired. He probably ran 1,000 miles in the morning. He probably took a nap, chilled, came back, probably lifting it. Even if he didn't do all that, you're gonna have your days. Some days you feel stronger, some days you want. He hitting that part of the camp. He probably tailing off to that part of the camp where these are the last few grueling days. So now, the week of the fight, they just tread in water. They just trying to maintain it. They ain't trying to up it no more. The intensity is not going to be as high. They just tread in water. They trying to maintain the conditioning. They already got to their pinnacle. They already climaxed, so they want to stay at that climax going into fight week. And believe it or not, more rest is sometimes better. As long as that weight good, he going to be in peak condition. But these motherfuckers doing probably 2 a days, and man, You know, you don't know where he could have been at. Could have argued with his baby mama before he got in the ring. His head probably wasn't in the game. You don't know. He cutting weight. We ain't talked about that part. He probably still in a calorie deficit. So he cutting weight. So he in the calorie deficit. And if any of y'all understand, if you be in the calorie deficit, it's hard. It's when you cutting weight and you in a calorie deficit, man. It feel good when you look at the scale, but as you doing it, your body is transforming. So as you get deeper in that cut, guess what? There's two things you can do in a calorie deficit when you hit the wall. What do most people do? They continue to decrease their calories. And you know, that's not a bad thing to do. Right? But there's other things you can do too. You know, you can add something that you ain't really had before. Some bodybuilders drink sugar water at some point in their workout, and it kickstarts the metabolism to burn more calories. So you can throw something in your diet, in your workout, or in your diet that's a little bit bad, maybe a little bit fattier or something like that, or a little bit more carbs. And carbs are not bad because carb or hydrate, the word carb or hydrate, that tells you need carbs to hydrate. When you go on your muscles are made up of of water, right? Carbohydrates. So you need carbs to help to produce muscle. So when they talk about cutting carbs out and going with all meat, it's not really the smartest thing to do. You know, carbs are energy. So you don't have the carbs in the muscle. What do it start doing? Your body starts eating the muscle. Start eating the hydration, the water out the muscle. You don't be as strong as you should be. So, but yeah, you can start to eat kind of a little bit of potato chips or a little bit here, and all of a sudden it'll kickstart that metabolism again. And you get burning more fat and burning more calories. Or you can step up the intensity and try to burn more calories, but at that point, the body is probably pretty much spent. So, yeah, just a couple tricks, but it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. Hit the link tree. You can find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Join the Patreon. Peace.